overall. He
He's
plays
quite
fantastic.
routinely beat out people twice to 4 times his age. That was a small jab there at Larry, for anyone that caught that.
This should be an interesting match. We know that Smurf, although he has some decent removal, doesn't have a very good way to deal with air attacks. And we also know that Mackenzie's deck is loaded down with flyers, being that he's in Jeskai.
Most definitely. And Mackenzie does have the removal to take out the only flying granter for Smurf with the Abzan Falconer in particular.
Yes, yeah.
I also don't think Smurf actually has anything in the way of Abzan Charm either. Dead Drop is a sorcery speed card, so...
I don't know if you hear what they're saying. They're making the joke that Smurf got that mat before Mackenzie was born.
See, with Smurf making that joke now, Karma's definitely going to bite him, and he's just about to get stomped.
No, it's the other guy, whoever's off camera.
Oh, okay. That would be hilarious, though.
Well, these are a couple of really solid decks and a couple of really solid players, so it'll be really fun to watch.
They are having the discussion about age again. Smurf is getting to feel a little bit older now, knowing that his opponent was born when Magic was already 8 years old. We do have some trash talking from Smurf going to the peanut gallery here.
Think somebody broke Smurf. Alright. So it looks like we're about to get underway.
Alrighty. What do we have here now?
I also have a distinct feeling nobody is going to be drawing their whole deck this game.
Most definitely. I think this is going to be a very aggressive match. Does look like they're finally actually trying to determine who goes first.
Alright, Smurf is on the play. It looks like he's got a perfectly on-curved Anafeza here. That could be
That's
not
the
so
look
great
of it
for
as well.
Mackenzie.
It depends on what Mackenzie does have. Does look like he forgot. Oh, we
Eagles
do have a
and
singing Bell Strike though as
Leaping
well,
Master.
which will definitely.
The Bell Strike will take down that Anafeza.
Yeah, we're going to see Anafeza here, and that's going to slow Anafeza down for a minimum of 3 turns, and that's with Smurf actually hitting his land drops every turn.
Followed by the Wind Scout.
Most definitely.
Now, do you just play your Wind Scout here, say, okay, I'll take 4, no problem. Next turn, you tap down the Anafeza permanently.
No, I think he's going to go ahead now, just why he knows Smurf is tapped out, just in case. Because with white, you do have to worry about things like Feat of Resistance.
That's fair.
Now, Feat of Resistance after the fact can actually go ahead and make the Bell Strike fall off, but you don't want to be completely blown out. Yeah.
This is all to you.
So we do have a swing for 2. We see a 4th land on play on Mackenzie's side. I think he's contemplating here now whether he just wants to invest more into the board or if he just wants to go with the Wind Scout. So it does look like we got the Wind Scout play. Mackenzie is going to try and get his flyers in here. Now we do have a Hooting Mandrills, but we have nothing in Graveyard here. There is a kill shot as well, so the kill shot could lead up to a Hooting Mandrills on the next turn. Now we gotta hope mainly that Mackenzie does have an answer to that Hooting Mandrills. So we do have a swing for both. I think we're gonna see a kill shot here on the Prowess. So we have 2 smacking in. That does give the Graveyard fodder. We do have a War Shrieker. Is there a follow-up with the mana from the War Shrieker? I think Mackenzie is trying to contemplate what he wants to do. He's going to do a morph.
Now, I believe in his deck, the only morph he has is the Weapon Master.
Now, if that is a Weapon Master, that could lead to a huge blowout.
If that is a Weapon Master, that is a lot of damage this turn. I mean, you're talking 5, 4 is 9, and 3 is 12.
Not even what he could do is if we do see Smurf going ahead and tapping out to slam the Mandrills now, he can keep the Weapon Master back and basically do a flip-up, block the actual Mandrills.
I'm expecting him to tap out here for Anafeza. Right? He wants her back, and he wants her back bad.
Yep, and getting the counters onto the Vampire can really help.
Aside from the fact that Mackenzie looks pretty good on board here, he's got Sarkin in his hand, double red and 5 mana.
And he did just go ahead and Bloodstain Mire there now for the second red.
Well, that's the 5th mana. So, like, Mackenzie is kind of on the ball here against this board state. He can either swing in, flip up his Weapon Master, and blow out Smurf's board, or he can just go, here, look at this Sarkin. And that's what he says. Here's a Sarkin. So he says,
we have a Sarkin
Planeswalker time, go.
So I think we will probably... Will we see a Sarkhan go up here or go down? Because if it
I
goes
would
up,
go down,
it commits to the
and
race.
I would do exactly this. Go down, kill Anafeza. You finally hit 6 lands. I took her out with 2, so now I don't even care. He just says,
he's going to sack her instead. Cause the
now, is
double
that a life
drain.
loss? Yes.
It is a life loss. It can't be. It's not a damage, which you can redirect.
If that was a damage, that would
Yes,
be
Ramuto,
very
this
bad.
is indeed the finals.
Now, I mean, we're probably going to see Sarkin come into play here.
We're going to actually get the title.
Yeah,
updated.
let me fix up the title here. Yeah, so we're going to see the Sarkin leave play here with the flying vampire. I believe she flies.
No, she doesn't.
She
actually.
does not fly.
She does not fly.
Ah.
Now, if he does have a Falconer in hand, he could do it that way. Now, if he swings with a Vampire, I can see him just blocking with the War Shrieker, trading easily on that.
Yeah, you just trade off, absolutely. You don't care even if you get blown out by a trick because you get to keep your Sarkin. And that's the most important
Sarkin
part.
going to town is what really is going to blow this out entirely. So I think we're going to see a Mandrill's hitting play here, delved for 2. Leaves a total of 3 mana up.
Yeah.
So we're
He's gonna
delving for
go
2 for our
Mandrills.
Mandrills. Now he swings with a
swing.
Vampire, he trades off. And then he probably goes ahead and then throws down his Warrior here now with the raid, getting another 3 power on board.
Absolutely.
And then all Mackenzie has to do is actually just keep up the mana to flip up his Weapon Master on his next turn, blow out the Mandrills, and then his Sarkhan is pretty much safe.
Yeah.
We don't have any removal here for Smurf. Even if he does manage to get off the Bitter Revelation to get a dead drop, he won't have the mana or the cards to delve to actually fire it off. So it does look like we're firing off here. So we're trading off. We're going to be seeing the raid follow up, getting the Warrior token.
Yeah, the format for the finals was draft, and now we're in the final 2. All right, Mackenzie on taps. Sarkin goes up. 4/4 Flying Dragons.
We're probably going to see Sarkhan swinging him. And yes, indeed, this is just an additional. Well, this is the finals draft here now.
I think you just turn this Sarkin sideways. You get your 4 in the air.
You have the Weapon Master back.
I think
Sarkhan.
you just pass the turn.
Yeah, you have your Weapon Master back to flip up. Then you can basically do trades off. Well, we'll see here now because we might see something. We do have a Force Away.
It's probably going to force away the Hooting Mandrills. That would make a lot of sense.
We see a Force Away here, then that actually makes him hard cast again, and we do actually get the Ferocious trigger here as well, if Mackenzie would like. And he can draw a card, then discard a card.
And that's his plan.
And it looks like he top decked a land, so we're
But
going to
that's
see
a land he
now.
doesn't have to draw next turn. Which
Most
is,
definitely.
it's
Gets
good
him
for
closer
him.
to gas, and now we see a Wind Scout hit play.
Yeah. So now he's going to have to lose a creature to keep his Sarkin alive here. Because undoubtedly, he's going to swing in with the War Chief towards the Sarkin. Ah, there's his Bellstrike.
So we have another land and the Bitter Revelation here. So we could see land, Bitter Revelation, throw 2 cards to the bin, delve to actually go
So McGinnis just
deep
says,
with
here,
the
have
actual.
this, that's fine.
So I think we're probably going to see. Yeah, we're going to see Bitter Revelation.
Yeah.
Taking
and the
down
Mandrills will
9.
come back. He loses this game next turn.
He doesn't put to hand. I think he needs to realize that. Here we go.
So Smurf taps out for
He
the Mandrills
does have
here.
the Falconer. So he takes the 2 cards, shoves the 2 lands to graveyard, lays a land, taps out for the Mandrills.
But I mean, like, it doesn't matter here, right? Smurf taps out for these mandrills. It doesn't matter if he taps out for anything. Mackenzie goes, turn my board sideways, flip my Weapon Master, 7 in the air, you're dead.
Yeah, because it would be 9. Because the Weapon Master would give 3. We'd have
we've got
whether
6.
It's on Sarkon
6
or the
and
other
3 is
flyer.
9.
Yep. So it does look like Mackenzie is quite possibly going to take this down this first match here.
I mean, maybe if Smurf doesn't tap out, he respects removal or something like that and doesn't swing, but...
Now, there would be no real reason for Smurf not to tap out here, though. Because he...
Well, he probably got to put him on the Weapon Master. I mean, it's a common. He's in the colors.
Because he's going to have to tap 2 lands. He's not going to be able to put more than 1 creature on board this turn. So he's going to go with the larger beast.
Yep. And if Mackenzie sees this line, it's game over. 2 mana, there isn't a removal spell that helps. And of course, this is Mackenzie Fowler. He sees the line just fine. Turn my board sideways. Block. Flip. 3. 9, you're dead.
Yep. And Smurf is dead here now.
Yep.
So it looks like we're going ahead to game 2.
So it looks like Mackenzie takes him down with the Weapon Master. It's a fantastic card that's won him a couple of games now.
Weapon Master is a very good pick to have in Jeskai overall.
Well, and Weapon Master is so good. I mean, a 4/3 first strike guy that can flip up for 5, surprise 3 damage, and trade off for most creatures. Absolutely nuts. I'd pick 3 of them. 3 or 4. Easy.
Most definitely. And I know with at least one other person being on Jeskai in this draft, I'm surprised he was actually able to... I think he got... Was it 2 after?
I'm pretty sure Mackenzie has 2 in his list. Now, it's possible that he opened them. Maybe he was past them from someone close.
Quite possibly. But I know he was downwind from... He was actually right next to Ingram, who was also drafting.
He could have gotten both going the other way, though.
No, because it started on... He was to Ingram's left. So for packs 1 and 3...
Fowler was Papa Smurf that time. Indeed he was. Indeed
Most definitely.
He was. And we just see Mackenzie doing what he's done in the first round where we watched him, and once again, he just lays on the pressure early and doesn't stop until you die. You think you're just about to turn the corner, stabilize, and be able to punch back, and he goes, nope, here's some surprise damage, you're dead.
Most definitely. That Weapon Master was... It was a beautiful thing to behold, that game. That was exact damage right to the face.
You didn't see it, but the other game on camera was... Weapon Master puts you to 2. I've got 2 flyers left, and you've got 1 blocker. Untap, pay 3 for Leaping Master. Fly in to kill you.
Yep, it's a bit of a blowout to say the least. And with the Weapon Master as well, being a 4/3 first striker in particular, really helped if he ever needed it against those Hootie Mandrills.
Well, yeah, not many of the cards in well, none of the cards in Smurf's deck, and not many of the cards just in cons in general have 5 marked on the butt. They mostly got 4s.
Most definitely.
Right? I mean, the big giant morphs, yeah, they get up 5, 6, 7, but even 7 is
the
a
only
number
one card you
that
have to worry about
loses.
is in the rare slot, a Sage Rhino.
Yeah. Well, but
Now,
I mean, like, even if he's got, say, Woolly Locks on, right? He swings at Woolly Locks on. He goes, okay, I'll unmorph and give my Weapon Master 3/3. That's 7. First strike, your creature's dead.
Yeah, it's a complete and utter blowout there. Now, the only thing that Mackenzie would have to worry about is putting down a Weapon Master early and Smurf having the debilitating injury to basically blow it out.
Yeah. That looks sick.
Well, there's just another... Abzan is actually a fairly popular list right now. I do know that there are, I think, a total of 3 Abzan lists up in the top 8 of the Pro Tour this weekend.
Well, and the thing is, people are building Abzan lists that go Abzan Control. They're building Abzan lists that are just Abzan mid-range, here's value creatures, and then they're just going, here's an Abzan aggro deck. So you get you see the 3 colors, you still don't know what they're actually playing.
It can be 3 completely different games.
Yeah.
And with the board options as well, being able to board, say, from aggro into mid-range, or mid-range into control, or control into mid-range, it's kind of a ridiculous field that they have open to themselves there. They are also open to a lot of the premium removal now with your banishing lights, with your suppression or suspension fields rather.
Well, the two best
your
removal
abs
colors
and
are black and
charms,
white.
most definitely. Abs and Charm is also a really good card to bring in for removal as well.
Absolutely.
Main thing is it kills Sorin, or sorry, Sarkon rather, and the fact that it can exile it when it attacks. So we see that Smurf is taking the play. So it does look like they both did keep their initial 7. We do see a turn to Bonkin coming down from Smurf here now.
Which is a faster start than last time.
Most definitely. Do we see a...
Probably a Leaping Master. Nope, nope. He says, I'll throw away the worst card in my deck and draw 2. And... Is that...
We did just top deck Sarkon.
I think he just top deck Sarkon again, yeah.
Alright, so we do think that Mackenzie's probably going to take a little bit of damage early on here. He does have a kill shot in hand. He does have the white mana in play with his tap land. So we do see that Smurf is investing a little bit into the board here. So we'll see if this does start to get out of hand for Mackenzie. We do have another island. We don't have second red yet, but we do have Singing Bell Strike, we have a Glacial Striker, we have the... Sorry, what is it? The Master of the Way, the one... No, it's the Morph that gives Hexproof on the
the Misfire Weaver.
Thank you. Misfire Weaver, he has quite a lot of 3-drops that he can throw down here.
See, he can drop down his flyer if he doesn't want to play the control game.
So we're going to see Glacial Stalker get morphed down here.
Seems good.
Now, mainly, this forces him to not attack with the Bonkin. He most likely doesn't want to lose the Bonkin here, but we do see the debilitating injury as the top deck here for Smurf.
And
so it's going to be a bit of a blowout here right now, just taking out the morph. Yep, so it's the Glacial Stalker. So we did just blow out a 4-5 with a debilitating injury there. We're getting an Outlast to give him first strike and a swing for 3. This is looking a little bit in Smurf's hands here. We're getting a very aggro response.
Yeah,
we do have...
That's what's expected when you go first.
Jeskai coming down here now. Now the only thing is the Jeskai only trades off with the token. So if Smurf swings now, he's swinging in for 6. And it's either you're trading for a 1-1 or you just take the 6.
Well, Mackenzie's pretty far behind here. He missed a land drop. Smurf's going to 5 mana.
Yeah.
He's got 2 power on board. Smurf's got 6.
And we do have Falconer coming into play here now, which is going to give the Bonkin flying.
To give his guy flying.
Yeah, this is the perfect curve out for Smurf here.
Smurf just hit his curve perfectly. Mackenzie stumbled on a land drop.
So we're getting 3 flying swinging in. It's going to be 6 damage total.
And he says, okay.
Mackenzie's going to just take it and go to 10. I don't think Mackenzie really has an out here.
No, he doesn't. He lays his land.
He can do a Singing Bell Strike, tap down the Bonkin. That saves him some damage overall. And he doesn't have the mana to be able to kill shot as well.
Well, I think he's got to swing in here and drop down the Horde Chief in his hand to get a second blocker on the ground. That lets the Horde Chief on Smurf's side bounce off of the tokens.
Off each other.
You still take a pile in the air. He decides kill shot, so it doesn't really matter.
He's going for the kill shot, I think. And I think he's going to try and get Smurf to swing with the... No, it's not swinging with the Outlaster. It's going to be a kill shot on the Bonkin then, I feel.
Yeah.
And triggering Prowess, and now he can actually trade off with
trade off and block the token.
Or actually successfully block the token without dying.
Yeah, the token just dies here because Prowess is a 1-1.
Yep. So Mackenzie takes 2, but does a bit of a board wipe here on Smurf. But Smurf does go ahead and outlast the Falconer.
If he hits a land here, that's not going to matter. That Falcon's gone.
Most definitely. And he does hit a land, and I guess we're probably going to see Sarkon hit play here. Now the thing is, if he takes Sarkon down, Sarkon dies.
Bell Strike.
We can definitely see... I actually feel the Bell
Bell
Strike
Strikes here.
Yeah. He's going to do the Bell Strike, most likely on the Falconer.
Yeah, that's your safer choice. Bell Strike the Falconer. Yep. Still got 5 coming out of his face, and he's on 8.
He's going to swing, and then he's going to go ahead and drop the actual Horde Chief here.
So he says,
and
take
Smurf
3,
is looking a little
blockers.
bit frustrated here as well. He's getting a little bit outplayed here, to say the least. And Smurf doesn't actually have the 6th land to be able to untap with the Bell Strike.
He's stuck on 5, isn't he? So, he says,
we're seeing a 5. Block. We're going to have a bounce and a chump here.
Yeah, you block chump. I mean, what's he got in his hand there? Like, anything of relevance? on the
No,
other side.
we do have the Delve Undead with Death Touch. We do have a Bitter Revelation, and we have the 2/1 that when it dies, he gains 2 life.
Okay,
So
so he's got creatures he can get out here.
Yeah, oh, so he has the Regenerator Bull as well. So I feel we're probably going to see Soren hit play here now.
Sarkin.
Or sorry, Sarkin rather. I keep saying Soren, I'm not exactly sure
Depends,
why.
what else has he got in his hand? Because
He has another Prowess.
he's also got the Weapon Master.
He does have the Weapon Master.
I mean...
Now the Weapon Master is 6 to hard cast though. It's 5 to flip.
Oh, that's true.
He did use the kill shot. He used the kill shot to take out the Bonkin. And then with the Prowess trigger, he blocked off the token and killed it without actually losing his own creature. Yeah, I did think we were going to see Sarkin here, and we're probably going to see it tick down. More likely than not. Now, if he does tick it up, though, it does force Smurf to swing into it, because otherwise it's well out of range.
Yeah, well, I mean,
we do see the kill here. No,
can,
Smurf does not actually untap his Abzan. Falconer there.
Yeah, he's got it.
Perfect. Glad for the compliment, saying that our commentary is actually pretty good. We're just kind of bullshitting our way along here for the most part.
So
But
he says swing into Sarkin. Mackenzie says no.
yeah, so we're definitely going to most likely trade off here. We're going to get a bounce, and we're going to
Well, he's probably
get
gonna
a regeneration here.
But, you know, it's not looking too bad.
But that does keep Sarkin alive, and that means he does get to tick up with Sarkin continuously here now.
Well, and it's also a 1/1. So,
yeah, so
he
Sarkin
can drop
gets
in a morph.
Yep.
Maybe he can drop in something else. We get to see here.
I believe it was a tap land that we have coming to hand here now. Yep,
That's
which gains him a life.
Slightly unfortunate, but not too bad.
We can go ahead. We have another Jeskai Flyer. Another Jeskai Wind Scout. We're going to probably see a tick up here, swing in for 4. We're going to get knocked down to 13 for Smurf. Now, what I can feel here is definitely wants to keep up his blocker. Smurf doesn't have a 6 land, but if he draws an untapped land, that does let the Falconer swing in. And then, with it being a flyer, it does make it a bit risky. So we're going to see the Weapon Master come down here and morphed. Now, the thing is here is what happens, does he want to trade the morph off? Because he's going to want to bounce. But then with the other 2/1, he can actually kill off the Sarkhan if no blocks are given. And we do have a tap land for Smurf. It gains him a life, but it doesn't let him untap.
Oh, the other thing is Mackenzie's got a lot of damage coming back the other way.
But the main thing is
taps out.
most definitely. But we have to worry about Smurf actually swinging in now into the Sarkhan.
Well, but that's the thing. He swings to the Sarkin. Mackenzie on taps, swings back like full steam. Maybe.
No, because we're going to see everything going at the Sarkhan here. He's going to have to bounce Horde Chief to Horde Chief to bounce it off. And then Sarkhan would take 2 here and die. Unless Mackenzie has one. Oh, no, Mackenzie is willing to let the Sarkhan actually die there.
Well, that's all he can do. He's got nothing in hand to help. He's got no way around
He
it.
could have traded the Weapon Master with the actual 2/1 to prevent Sarkhan from dying.
That's fair.
So we do have just a handful of creatures here from Mackenzie. Now, Mackenzie has to worry now, too, that with the Falconer, even if Smurf untaps with it, he has to pay, basically use his entire turn to do the untap.
Yeah.
Oh, you might wanna...
No, it is 1-0. This is game 2.
Is it game 2? I thought it was game...
No, this is game 2.
Oh, I thought it was game 3
No,
already.
no, this is game 2.
It's just too much interesting play.
Yeah, well, basically,
Too much
Smurf
has
got ahead
happened.
so fast early that we were already thinking Mackenzie was dead, and now he's right back in this game to the point where he could actually get a win.
Quite possibly. Life totals are fairly close. There's not a very big point swing. If Smurf wants to be able to have the Falconer be useful, he has to basically tap out to do it. He has a lot of small creatures on board. Mackenzie's passing back with a board full of open mana.
Yeah, and
Smurf doesn't really have...
in here, he loses 2 creatures.
Now, Smurf did just top deck a debilitating injury. So he could force the morph early on here. It doesn't kill the Weapon Master. Still leaves it as a 2/1 double or 2/1 first strike. But it does let him pump a creature.
Passes it back.
He did just pass back. So we do see a handful of prowess creatures here. So this does give Mackenzie the turn that he wanted to be able to actually go ahead and invest in board while still keeping some mana up to do some. So yes, because he's going to end a turn on tap the Falconer.
Yeah, and with the debilitating strike here, Mackenzie doesn't have the mana to morph anymore.
Most definitely. And that does seem like a little bit of a blowout here for Mackenzie. Now, Mackenzie can't put Smurf on having the debilitating strike no matter what. I think we're going to see an all-out swing here. Now, Smurf is probably going to start off with a debilitating injury on the Morph, or possibly on the Flyer. Because then he can't block no matter
he's
what.
got the ephemeral shields.
Oh, and this is going to be a blowout back at Smurf instead.
Gets the prowess trigger.
And a 1-1 counter and pro black. Now, if Smurf goes ahead and swings...
What's the toughness on that
it
Falcon?
Is right now a 3-4. So it would actually trade off against the actual Jeskai Wind Scout here if he swings.
3-4. It's 4-3, right?
It gets a counter and a prowess trigger, so that's a 4-3.
And a prowess trigger, right. Yeah, right, okay.
So it does look like Smurf is not going to have the chance to swing in here after all.
Well, and as you wouldn't.
Disowned Ancestor gets some more Outlasters on the board. Now with the Disowned Ancestor, he can actually get a large-bodied flyer that can block off on the Jeskai Wind Scout there with no troubles.
Yep. And Mackenzie hit a second Weapon Master here.
Now the thing is does he want to cast it, or
does he want to leave his blockers back?
Yeah. Because if he casts the Weapon Master now, because Weapon Master is both on when it flips up and enters the battlefield. So if he hard casts the Weapon Master, he swings for quite a bit. I think he's going to try and see if he can
swing
get
in
Smurf
here,
to do the trade.
You flip your Weapon Master regardless for the damage. And next turn, if he swings in with his flyer and outlasts his other guy, you just play your other Weapon Master and swing in again.
Lethal. Yeah, I think we are not seeing...
Oh no,
he's putting the other Weapon Master down.
I guess he does have to worry about all the rest of the ground creatures swinging in and killing him.
Most definitely.
And so that wouldn't have went well. Smurf would have blown him out with a kill shot.
Most definitely.
It looks like Mackenzie's in a lot of trouble that he doesn't know about.
Especially with Smurf having the actual Morph Lifelinker in hand. So he's going to be morphing that down. He still has the mana up for the kill shot.
Yeah.
Mackenzie has the hope to top deck another feat of resistance. If he hits another feat right now, that really ends up being a huge blowout. Or if he goes ahead and morphs down the Wind Dancer, which can give the hexproof on flip up.
Yes. And that's probably the play here. You stick your Windmaster face down. Throw in. He's got another bird in hand.
It does possibly look like it.
I mean, like, it looks grim, but he can still pull this out with what he's got available.
Yep, the board states are just advancing further and further along here. There's quite a bit of play on each side. Now, the good thing is that you can't actually outlast as a sorcery. And that's mainly because if you could outlast as a sorcery, end of turn, he could just outlast.
Well, he would just outlast over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah. Especially if he had 7 mana at this point, being able to outlast the Falconer and then untap it as well. All at end of turn.
Swing with my bird again.
I think he's going to try and bluff Smurf here. Smurf is probably going to be willing to take it where he does have the Morph face down right now. That's the 4-4 lifelinker.
He says block.
Yep, and I think we're going to go ahead and...
We're going to see some trouble for Mackenzie here. He's going to say, bam. And
we're going to see the kill shot. Yeah, we got the kill shot coming in here. And there's actually another Weapon Master in hand.
Then that means that the misfire is already down.
Quite possibly. That's what it looks like, yeah. So he has another Wind Scout in hand, the 2-1 for 2 in blue, the Elk, and he has a third Weapon Master.
I think Smurf just has to turn his board sideways here, though. Mackenzie's only on 9.
Now the thing is, with Smurf turning his board sideways, he gets in for some flying damage guaranteed, but if he swings in his lifelinker, he just blocks with Weapon Master, and Smurf doesn't get the life back.
That's true. The Weapon Master's first strike does kind of bung it up a little.
We do get a Mandrills here there now, though.
And he can put that in the play pretty easy if he wants.
Yep.
And that Weaver is a flying creature. Like,
definitely.
It's a pretty relevant piece of information.
Smurf looks like he might just be ready to pass back, or is he going to swing? No, it does look like he's going to swing. So that's going to knock him down to 6. Are we going to see possibly an Outlast here before end of turn, or is he just going to try and possibly drop Mandrills? Well, he can do Mandrills and the Outlast.
Yes, that's true.
On his Disowned Ancestor. Because getting that extra point to flying could be very applicable right now. No, he didn't outlast the Ancestor. I probably would have done that myself at the end of that turn, mainly just because it gives you that ability. He has more than enough blockers.
The bluff stuff, right?
Quite possibly, but yeah, because he could still possibly bluff Murderous Cut here. What do we have on the top deck of Mackenzie's side? We have a Wind Scout here.
Yeah. There may just be too much damage on Smurf's side of the board over there.
Quite possibly. We see a Wind Scout with mana still left to be able to flip up and give a hexproof.
Is it 3 for the Weaver?
It is 3 for the Weaver, blue and 2, I do believe.
That could mean a lot of damage.
Applicable. So Mackenzie's a 6 here. So if Smurf wants to be able to swing with
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 14 damage.
But now he has to pay.
But he's got to pay.
He can't morph up and untap at the same time. So he can't morph up his lifelinker.
Well, I wasn't counting this guy.
Yeah. Because he can either get in for the 3 flying, or he can morph up the lifelinker. So if he swings in here now, I can see most likely the Weapon Master to block the Mandrills. We can see the Wind Scout most likely blocking off against probably the Elk or the Morpher. It all depends on whether Smurf wants to go ahead and tap to untap the actual Outlaster here. So there's quite a few routes of play here. We're going to see 3. Does Smurf have the dead drop?
I think it's the dead drop.
No, because dead drop's engraved.
Oh, it's the death touch.
So Smurf does have an empty graveyard now. We're going to see an Outlast. Smurf's hand is empty.
No, he didn't flip up his Weaver.
Mackenzie here now has a pretty grim board state to try and get through. He did top deck a 3/6, but that does nothing against the Flyers now because he's got 4 points of flying damage coming in. So we have to think about the roots of play here, because he does have the hexproof ability, but that really does nothing against the board state that he's facing off against here. We know that Smurf has an empty hand. There's nothing really that he's going to probably be using here. I think Smurf's just going to go for an all-out swing for sure.
Yeah. And it's possible that here you just drop in your Weapon Master and say, okay, go ahead.
Quite possibly, just because it's a first strike blocker.
Yep.
Now, the main thing is that the Death Toucher that is a 4/5 Death Toucher. So it can
it's going to go through anyway.
Yeah. So with that, you'd probably use a smaller creature just to chump.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, too, a Smurf will have 2 flying attackers, and if you go ahead and slam the Weapon Master, you don't have the mana to be able to flip up the Mistweaver to be able to block another flyer. Now it is only 1 damage coming in.
Only 1 damage coming in, so you just may not care.
And the thing as well, instead of doing a Weapon Master, he can lay the 3/6 that he has in hand.
Now Mackenzie might be able to generate some additional value here. He's got
swinging with the 2/3 to get the War Shrieker and then follow up. Now he does still end up 1 mana down, so he would need 5 mana. Now I don't think.
Does he get the 1/1 here?
Yep, force tap down.
But it
just to kill instead of bounce.
What color does it regenerate?
As 2 colorless to regenerate.
Oh, I thought it was colored mana.
And morphing another face down. That's I probably believe it's either the Weapon Master or the 3/6 big body. No, it looks like it's Weapon Master. It does have the 3/6 big body still in hand, and he does have the Elk. Now I don't know if he should have just tapped out now to get down the Elk as well, just as another blocker, or what he would want to do here.
I'm thinking he probably didn't count the damage, right?
So we have another land top deck for Smurf. So Smurf doesn't have any removal. He does have the lifelinker. I don't know if he would like to swing with the lifelinker here. So swing for 1 point of flying damage. I think Smurf is going to try and go for the long game here. And now Mackenzie is wondering what he has. I think Mackenzie's just going to call the bluff, take the 1 damage, see Smurf lay a land.
Can he deal 11 here?
Is that a Force of Way that he just drew? Because Force of Way could be a really big blowout here right now.
Yeah, Mackenzie says go, untap.
Yeah, we've got the untap, so we see most likely a Force Away possibly hit on the Falconer here.
Yeah, you need to hit on the Falconer. So he says,
and then
take
possibly
the
do
one.
a swing back for lethal.
If he can math this out right.
Main thing is he doesn't want to trade off. He wants to be able to either get a bounce and take the minimal amount of damage possible. I think Smurf's probably going to try and play it safe, though. He's only going to swing just for the one. He wants to get Mackenzie as low as possible. Now, if Mackenzie does the Force Away...
Well, he does the Force Away, and he can flip his Misfire. Right? And that gives him 5 in the air. Flip the Weapon Master is 8.
Now, does he want to Force Away into turn? Now, if he just takes the one here, and he Force Aways into turn... Or he can do the block, then do the Force Away. Bouncing the Falconer. It loses flying, block is still good, triggers prowess.
Does the Misfire Weaver have prowess?
I don't know if it's both morph and prowess.
If it's morph prowess,
I'm gonna do a quick lookup of that for you now.
Oh, he bounced the morph creature.
No, it's just flying morph, and when it turns face up, it can give target creature you control fate and give hexproof until end of turn.
But Mackenzie choosing to bounce the morph creature there anyway.
Now, did Smurf go ahead and reveal the morph creature
did.
with bounce? I missed that for a moment there.
Oh,
We're getting another Outlast. It still has the mana to be able to untap next turn. Now, I think Mackenzie wanted to be able to delve a bit deeper. He didn't want to get blown out by any possible potential morphs there. I think it's the big thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're going to see the morph down again.
Huh. See, I think you gotta flip your Weaver here end of turn.
What do we get at top deck here? Let's see, we have a Crippling Chill.
Ah.
Now, Crippling Chill doesn't really do much against... Well, it still does buy a turn against Falconer, because if he pays mana to untap it, he doesn't have the mana to untap it a second time. No, he doesn't have the mana to untap. Oh, he's got to morph up, though.
Now, if this Lifelinker connects, even with a block, then it's over.
Guaranteed, though, the Lifelinker is going to be blocked by the Weapon Master, I feel.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he does have the second Weapon Master underneath there now as well. So the second Weapon Master can flip up. It can give the Jeskai Wind Scout +3/+0. He can trade off against the actual Falconer.
The damage could work out here.
And then he can use the Wind Scout to block the Hooting Mandrills as well.
But then can he deal with all of the other little bits of damage?
Quite possibly, because what we're seeing here now is we would have a Mandrills and the Lifelinker blocked by our Ifrit Weapon Masters. So he's left with the Horde Chief, the 2/1 Elk, or the 2/2 Elk, the 1/1, and the 4/5. The 4/5 you probably chump with the Wind Master. We see an Anafenza come here as well. Now, Smurf did draw the card. His card that he drew was the Anafenza.
Yeah. I think he put his hand below the table or whatever, but yeah.
So, as he moves to combat here, do we see possibly the Crippling Chill, or do we see the Weapon Master? So we have a Weave Fate. Or did he actually just pass turn back? He did.
Yeah.
He didn't want to risk it here. He wants to be able to untap that Falconer. Couple land drops is what we got top decked here for Mackenzie. We've got a Plains hitting play. Mackenzie's keeping some mana arranged here. Now, because he still doesn't have the mana to be able to do both Crippling Chill and the Weapon Master, which could be a bit of a blowout. Now, he can go ahead and get the 3/6 blocker into play.
Well, the thing is that he needs something that flies.
Yeah.
Because if not, Smurf just goes, attack you.
We've got
when Anafenza taps, it puts a counter on something else, so it gets flying before blockers are declared.
Yeah. I think this is looking pretty good for Smurf at the moment.
I think he's toast here, yeah. Now, depending on... he just sends the Lifelinker to the air as a 5/5.
And they just draw the Battle Priest as well to give everything lifelink with a +1/+1 counter. So I think this game is Smurfs.
This one's over. He just goes turn my board sideways.
That all depends. He is only human. He could make a mistake. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a full sideways board.
It should be.
Let's give him back the 1/1 regeneratable.
Just in case.
He's going to put it on the mandrills.
Interesting. Fair enough.
It's because it's a trampler, I believe, is probably the best bet.
Yeah, that actually makes
so
a lot of
it
sense.
makes it a flying trampler now.
Yeah.
And Mackenzie doesn't have a way to deal with that, because...
Not to mention the 8 or 10 points of lifelink in the air, and I think we're going to game 3.
It does look like we're possibly going to be going to game 3 here.
I mean, I haven't done the math, but I don't think there's... He doesn't have 3 flying blockers that can block all that damage. Like, all of his flying blockers got 1 marked on their butt. Mackenzie takes 4, and then he's still got to block everything on the ground, and only 1 more needs to go through.
Yep. I think
Not
this
to
is,
mention that
I think this
Smurf
is
gains
game
10
at
points
this
of
point
life.
here now.
So, like,
Mackenzie's
even if he
definitely
survives
mathing
this
it.
attack, which is
Yeah.
possible, he untaps, he draws a card, passes back the turn, Smurf does it again, and he loses.
Yep. I don't think Mackenzie has it in hostilities.
He does
that would be exactly what he would need here.
If he had it in hostilities, he could win this game.
Yeah.
If he can survive this attack. But I don't think he pulled one.
No, I don't believe he did.
No, and if Fences doesn't put it on all tapped, you choose 1 tapped.
Yeah. Otherwise, Anafenza would have to be at least a minimum of 6 mana.
Oh god, yeah. She would be 10 mana and she'd be insane. It says flip misfire. Alright. So now he's got 3 flying blockers.
He still gets to trample through is the issue, though.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
think
but it doesn't even matter. It's like I said, Mackenzie survives this just by blocking in the correct way. Right? He still takes 4.
Kills the lifelinker here.
Like, he's still taking 4 from the Hooting Mandrills.
Blocks the Anafenza, or I would probably... We need to throw something in front of the large Death Toucher as well.
But it doesn't matter. There's
Yeah.
still 4 damage right here, plus 4 here.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Mackenzie is dead here. Unfortunately so.
Takes 4 and 2 is 6. He dies.
Yep.
He didn't see the trample.
So that definitely...
That's what all that math
pushes
was
us to
about.
another game.
Didn't see the trample.
So that was definitely a bit of a grindy game, to say the least.
Well, it's funny. Smurf got ahead. It looked like he was just going to win on like turn 4, 5, 6, whatever. And Mackenzie's like, no, I don't die that easy. And takes the game for a very long time. And I really think if he had flipped that misfire earlier, he could have swung in 4 lethal with the Weave Fates plus the Force Away to put him up to nearly 11 damage.
Now, I do believe that Mackenzie probably might have missed the reveal on the morph there.
Same thing we said last time when Ron didn't put one against him. We saw it was a morph on the camera when he put it down, so we don't actually care.
Yeah. As long as it is known to be a morph. As long as it's known to be a morph on camera, like we have video proof to show that it was a morph, we can tell that it wasn't someone trying to actually cheat.
Yeah, it wasn't a basic island. We're good. Yes, that's a fact.
So we will make sure that Smurf knows that the other card was an additional weapon master. So So Smurf has now been informed what the actual morph card was, that it was another Weapon Master overall. So we have gone ahead and made sure that that information has been known to him.
Yeah. No, it's fixed up.
That is way mine supposed to work, but I can never get there. Yeah. It's another +1. So that 1/1 becomes a 4.
There's an entire draft going on behind us. Would be the noise in the background.
Yes, definitely. We do have the actual invitational
Yeah,
finals
the
going on
store
in a
is
different
pretty
sealed
busy.
room.
The store is really, really busy. How many people got watching this? 41 people watching the finals. It's pretty sweet. All right, 1-1. Game 3, Mackenzie versus Matthew Smurf Murphy. Let's see what happens. We'll have Mackenzie on the play. I'm not sure what's rattling around. It could have been me getting up and taking the mic off. The shop is in Newfoundland. It's in Mount Pearl. 7 Commonwealth?
7 Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Same
All right, underway. Mackenzie's got a kill shot. Couple of lands. Tap land, gain a life. Wind Scout could be really good.
Now we do see a murderous cut in Smurf's hand there. But that might be a little bit too late for it to really do much applicable against the Wind Scout.
Yeah.
So do we see an island hit play here, then possibly followed up by the Wind Skate? Or is he going to morph down the Weapon Master here?
Probably going to drop the Wind Scout. Yeah. The Wind
does
Scout
look
is
like-
the best option.
Yeah.
It lets you get a little extra damage if he wants to play a card draw spell next turn. I think he's got Weave of Fates. And outside of that,
You just have to worry about a debilitating injury here is most likely the issue. Do we see a Disowned Ancestor hitting play here possibly?
yep.
Yep, we do. And we're going to go ahead and have an Outlast of the Bondkin. We do a quick untap here. Mackenzie trying to keep his hand a little bit of a closely guarded secret this time around, I think.
Yeah, he doesn't want us to see what he's got. Jams his land.
We do have
Is that
a
another Wind
Plains
Scout?
hitting play. He's going to swing. We don't
Nice.
see a trick. We do have another Wind Scout here,
Another
though.
Wind Scout.
And we get a turn pass back. Now, we do know for sure that Smurf is